In this section, we're looking at surface area. What shape is this first example? Surface area of what? Surface area of a square base pyramid. It's a pyramid. Good. How do you know the base is a square? Good. Okay, now to find the surface area, what does finding the surface area mean? What are you finding the area of? We're finding the area of the surface of the shape. So the outside of the shape. So like Ruhi just said, if we were to draw a net of this shape, it would have a square and what? 4 triangles. Okay, to find the surface area, you want to know the outside of the shape, the surface of it, and what is this shape made up of? What am I finding the area of? We need to find the area of what? Yep. We need to find the area of the square, and we need to find the area of how many triangles? Okay, times 4, right? Well, the first part's easy. Can we find the area of the square easily? How do you find the area of a square? Length squared. It's a square, so we know that the length is the same as the width. So what's 10 squared? It's 10 times 10. Good. 100 centimeters squared. So we did the first part. That was the easy part. Area of the square is 100 centimeters squared. We need to find the area of the triangular face. I want you to look carefully at this diagram. Well, first of all, how do you find the area of a triangle? Base times height divided by 2. Looking at the diagram, do you know the base of the triangle? Look carefully. So I'm going to just highlight this here. Let's use yellow. Here is our triangle, right? Do you know the base of the triangle? What is it? It's 10 centimeters. Good. Do you know the height of the triangle? The height from the triangle, look carefully, goes from here to here. What does that represent in the pyramid? What is the height of the triangle in relation to the pyramid? It's the slant height of the pyramid. Because this triangle is on an angle, it's not straight up and down. The height of the pyramid is actually this. Okay, that's the height of the pyramid, but we need to know the height of our triangle because we're calculating the area of the triangle. So, what shape is drawn inside? What type of triangle? A right angle triangle. We are given the height of the pyramid. We can figure this part out. We'll talk about that in a minute. But we need to know the slant height because the slant height, I'm going to put an S here, is actually the height of one of the triangular faces. Okay, does that make sense so far? Good. So if we look here, from here to here, this is not really drawn to scale, but we know the total length of from one end to the other of this base is 10 centimeters, right? So what would half of that be? So this would be, this would be right here, this would be 5 centimeters, okay? I'm just going to do this here, okay? We just pulled apart this right angle triangle from inside the pyramid because we need to find the slant height. So we're going to use Pythagorean theorem. So this is a good Pythagorean theorem review. What's the formula for Pythagorean theorem? Okay, good. Which part of the triangle has to be labeled as C if you're using the formula in this way? Yes, in this case it's the slant, which is referred to as what? Hypotenuse, good. Hypotenuse is always located across from the right angle, okay, always. Okay, so I'll just put in brackets just as a little review here. The hypotenuse is always the longest side of a right angle triangle and it's always across from the right angle, okay? Does it matter which one I call A and B? No, because this is just addition. We can add in any order. So let's call this A, doesn't matter. We'll call this B, okay? So we have 12 squared plus 5 squared equals C squared. And I want you to simplify this. 169 is equal to C squared. To find C, we always do the opposite operation. What's the opposite of squaring a number? Square root. So this, the square root of C squared is C. What's the square root of 169? Good. So we just found the slant height is 13 centimeters. Okay, let's go back to our original question. We needed the slant height because we needed to know the height of the triangular face, right? So, oops. Let's do this. We can fill that in now. What's the height of the triangular face? 13 centimeters. Can you find the area of one triangular face? 10 times 13 divided by 2 is 65. Okay, that's the area of one of these faces, right? How many faces are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. What's the area of all of the triangles? 4 times 65. Good, 260 centimeters squared. Okay, that's the area of 4 triangular faces, but we also have to include the area of the square face. What's the total surface area of the shape? So let's, therefore, total, I'm just going to put SA for surface area, equals, we added up the 4 triangular faces and the square the square face. Total surface area is 360 centimeters squared of this square-based pyramid.
Made with Doodlecast Pro.